We are back with another custom campaign breakdown. This time, we're discussing another great custom map, Journey to Splash Mountain. This is one of my personal favorite custom maps, and I've been waiting to do this video for a while now. This campaign checks almost every box for me. Fun levels with interesting design, original pieces of wall graffiti, and just like all the other campaigns, there are small details that can be easily overlooked. You guys know the drill, so without wasting any more time, let's break down the story behind Journey to Splash Mountain. The campaign starts off with the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors driving a very familiar vehicle on a highway. After driving for a few more seconds, the survivors arrive at a location, but where are they exactly? Well, that question is very easy to answer. When you load up this campaign for the first time, you can see this on the loading screen, a CETA evacuation notice telling any survivors to head for the Disneyland evacuation zone. In the red circle, you can see the name Anaheim. That's right, this Left 4 Dead custom map takes place in Disneyland. Not to be confused with Disney World found in Florida. Now personally, I've never been to Disneyland. I currently reside in this frozen shithole up north, but if you have been to Disneyland, this map is a must play. The attention to detail is among the best I've seen on the workshop. We'll talk more about that in just a second. For now, let's get back to some lore analysis. Based on the evidence presented, here's my theory. After the ending of the Crash Course campaign, the survivors, instead of going to Riverside, took a detour all the way to California. It's quite the distance, but it's Disneyland, so who can blame them? After arriving at Disneyland, the survivors walk in the front entrance. You can find a desk with dead bodies along with this CETA evacuation notice. Disneyland Safety and Vaccination Zone. A CETA representative must evaluate all patients for infection before evacuation clearance can be given. After walking a little further, the survivors find this plaque. This plaque can also be found in the real-life Disney World, and it reads as follows. Here you leave today, and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy. If you watched my breakdown of the Daybreak campaign, I pointed out some things in the map that can actually be found in San Francisco. This map is no different. Around almost every corner, you can find shops, rides, and attractions that can be found in the real-life Disneyland. I won't point out all of them just because there's so many, but I will point out a few before we move on. Near the halfway point of Chapter 1, the survivors cut through the Penny Arcade, which was opened all the way back in 1955. Near the beginning of Chapter 2, the survivors walk past the Jungle Cruise attraction. If you walk a few feet to the right, you can find the Bengal Barbecue. The menu in the campaign looks just like the menu in real life. A good chunk of Chapter 3 is spent fighting the infected through the Haunted Mansion, and once you reach Chapter 4, the survivors finally make it to Splash Mountain. I'll point out more of these real-life locations as we move through the campaign, but for now, we're going to move on. After walking past the entrance, you can find dead bodies and a bunch of zombies. Just like all the other CETA evacuation centers in Left 4 Dead, the Disneyland evacuation zone has been overrun. Regardless, the survivors keep moving. After a short walk, the survivors cut through Walt Disney's apartment. When you head inside, you can find this hidden panel. After pulling the lever, a compartment then opens and a weapon can be found in a glass case. You can also find this note, break in case of zombie apocalypse. Shortly after, the survivors arrive at the Penny Arcade and have to hold off the infected while the door opens. This is a fairly easy defend your position segment, just be mindful of any surprise attacks from the rooftops. After heading inside, you can find this piece of wall graffiti, locked in here with more ice cream than I could ever eat. And on the other side of the room, you find even more wall graffiti. No, it's melting. If you head into No Clip and go past the fence and up the street, you can find a statue of Walt Disney holding Mickey Mouse's hand. Sleeping Beauty's castle can be seen in the background. The survivors don't go to Sleeping Beauty's castle at all during this campaign, and this area is completely inaccessible unless you head into No Clip. Regardless, I think it's worth pointing out. Shortly after, the survivors walk into a room where a dead boomer can be found, along with this piece of wall graffiti. Boomers are disgusting. Sorry about the mess. Shortly after, the survivors find a safe room. You can find this piece of wall graffiti written outside the door. The birds won't shut up. It's on an endless loop. The safe room is the Enchanted Tiki Room, another real-life attraction found in the real-life Disneyland. Now, let's head over to Chapter 2. This is a pretty short chapter, but we still have a few things to go over. After leaving the safe room, the survivors walk through an alleyway, where a dead charger can be found along with a broken staircase. If you look at the nearby truck, you'll notice a trail of blood. After following the blood into the nearby building, you find a dead body in a storage room. After this, the survivors cut through the Indiana Jones Adventure, another real-life attraction found in Disneyland. Following a long walk, the survivors reach the safe room. Inside the safe room, you can find this piece of graffiti on the ground. Oh, great supply god. We have built this shrine for you. Please send us more supplies. But no more beans, it stinks in here. Now, let's head over to Chapter 3. Shortly after leaving the safe room, the survivors arrive at the Haunted Mansion. If you walk to the left-hand side of the entrance, you can find these names. Turns out this is another Disneyland attraction called the Pun Crypts. Some of these puns include "You are gone," "Reincarnation," and "I am mortal." Now let's head inside the Haunted Mansion. After walking into a room, a voice is heard talking to the survivors.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. Kindly step all the way in, please, and make room for everyone. There's no turning back now.
This room is called the Stretching Room. It's the first room you enter when touring through the Haunted Mansion. Before we move on, here's another fun piece of trivia. The narrator for the Haunted Mansion is Paul Frees, who did the narration back in 1969 when the attraction was first opened. Even after 50 years, Paul Frees' narration is one of the most iconic and beloved parts of this attraction. After the door opens, the survivors fight the infected through the mansion. In the hallway, you can find these creepy paintings, and after walking a little further, you can find this piece of graffiti on the ground. They laughed when I said it was a ghost. Now we're all ghosts, and I'm the only one laughing. Just outside the Haunted Mansion, the survivors find their next safe room. Inside, we have even more wall graffiti to break down. I dare the next chick who reads this to flash the camera during the drop. Well, it is called Flash Mountain, am I right? Why are we riding Splash Mountain in the middle of a zombie apocalypse? I don't know, lol. After leaving the safe room, the survivors finally make it to Splash Mountain. Before we talk about this chapter from a gameplay perspective, here's a neat piece of trivia. Splash Mountain doesn't exist anymore. The ride is still there, but it was rebranded in 2023 to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Disney wanted the change because Splash Mountain had a direct association with the 1946 film Song of the South, a movie that was heavily criticized for its racist depiction of African Americans. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about Chapter 4. Remember the Screaming Oak roller coaster from Dark Carnival? This chapter is very similar. The survivors take the Splash Mountain ride all the way to the end of the chapter. You can ride in the raft or jump out whenever you please. The raft moves very slowly, and the infected will be swarming you from all sides. During the ride, the survivors are stopped by a gate and have to find a nearby valve to open it, and you have to do this again a few minutes later. If I had to describe this chapter in one word, it would be chaotic. This is a difficult chapter, but it's also a lot of fun, especially when you're playing with your friends. Here's another fun detail. The ride ends with a massive drop, as seen here. If all the survivors are in the raft during the drop, this will happen. The survivors then get off the raft and leave Splash Mountain. Now let's head over to Chapter 5. Shortly after leaving the safe room, if you walk to the left-hand side, you can find Pooh's Corner. If you head to the back of the building, you can find seated body bags piled up in the back storage room. You can also find a restaurant in this area, and when you head to the kitchen, you find a dead CETA agent and medical beds. Now let's finally talk about the finale. The survivors reach a spotlight that has no power. Instead of collecting a bunch of gas cans, the survivors have to siphon the gas from nearby vehicles while fighting off the infected hordes. Gas can finales were never my favorite, but siphoning gas from nearby cars is a cool idea. Like I said in prior videos, I enjoy it when custom campaigns do innovative stuff like this. This is a pretty hard finale too, especially for playing by yourself. Just be careful when the tank rolls in and be smart with your pipe bombs. After powering up the generator, a helicopter arrives and rescues the survivors. And that concludes the story behind Journey to Splash Mountain. Like I mentioned before, this is one of my personal favorite custom campaigns. I love the level design, I love the attention to detail, and I love the challenge. This is a great custom map, and you should definitely give it a shot if you haven't already. So, if I missed anything, or if you guys have anything to add, be sure to let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.